Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, gunslingers. I'm here today with Senior Airman Sergio Lee from the Rogues, and we're going to talk about what he does for the 6-7 Cyberspace Wing. Hey, good afternoon, Airman Lee. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you for asking.
So, first off, I just want to say thanks for taking the time to come and chat with me. It means a lot to have this opportunity to chat with you. So, tell me a bit about yourself.
So thank you for having me. I'm Sergio Lee. I was raised in Koreatown, Los Angeles. I'm 22 years old. Moved here with my mom, dad, brother, and
To Texas?
to Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. All right.
Los Angeles. And we grew up there and went to community college, worked at Starbucks in downtown, and then finally I ended up in a...
Do you still drink Starbucks?
No, I don't. After working, no.
Not after working there?
Yeah.
All right. What was your favorite drink when you worked there, though? Like, for a time you drank Starbucks. What was your poison?
My poison was ice water.
Not a pumpkin spice latte?
No lattes.
Tis the season.
Yep, the ice machine was great. I loved it.
All right, sweet. So joined at 22, doing community college and Starbucks. Did you know? So you're a 1 Bravo, right?
Yes, I am.
Did you know that you wanted to do cyberspace? Like, was that a dream, a goal?
No, not really. I knew I wanted to do something cyber-wise. There was some incentive there because I didn't know what I wanted to do as a career.
Yeah.
But I know that tech is growing. There's always going to be computers. So I said, why not go forth in that space?
And so then, actually, there's always a huge interest in your career field, and
Yes.
people want to come in. And so, what did you have to do? Like, okay, cool, I want to do cyber. Like, you didn't just sign up and then all of a sudden you had to do some tests and stuff too, right?
Yes. So went to my recruiter, took the ASVAB. I scored pretty well, and he asked me if I took the EDPT.
What does that stand for?
Electronic.
Oh, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. What is the test?
It's like an old IQ test from like the 60s.
Okay.
It's still taken with pencil, and you got to fill in the bubble.
All right.
I don't know if I'm remembering correctly, but there's a lot of like brain teasers in there. You know, like you're supposed to like connect the dots or connect words.
So you had to take the EDPT?
EDP, correct.
All right.
So I took that, and I scored just well enough to get the cyber warfare job.
Nice.
And I took a test. I had a really bad feeling after I took it, so I called my recruiter and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry. I wasted your time. You know, I'm sorry I wasted your time. You brought me all the way over here." It's like, don't worry about it, man. I'll let you know what your score is in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Next day, he called me while I was at work, and he said, "Congratulations, dude, you passed. And then you're able to you can apply for all the jobs that require the EDPT." And I was like, "Really? That's sweet." And he said, "I have good news and bad news." I was like, "Let's hear the good news first." And then he says, "I have a 1 Bravo slot for you."
That's the good news.
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, great. What's the bad news?" And he's like, "You leave this week."
How did your family feel about that?
So I come from a military family.
So they get it.
Yeah, my dad, Korean. He had a mandatory service in Korea. My brother, United States Marine. He's now a veteran. And so they already experienced it with my older brother before. So when I told them that I had the idea of joining the Air Force, they were like, yeah, go for it.
All right, sweet. So 1 week's notice, off to Lackland Air Force Base, BMT. And so then you graduated, and then what?
So after graduating basic training, they shipped me to Keesler Air Force Base. That's where I had my tech school.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was one of about 15 non-prior 1 Bravos.
Yeah.
So it was really like weird for us. They didn't really know what to do with us. We were sharing a building with the 338 Dark Knights, which is also a cyber training squadron. But I don't think they really established us as a real a squadron until maybe after I left. Because when I got there was about maybe 15 of us. When I left, there were about maybe 30, 40.
That's a big growth.
Yeah.
All right. So you're part of the Rogues. So what do you do for the Rogues?
So I am a cyber warfare operator. I work on the defensive side.
Okay.
and I am a host analyst.
So what does that mean?
So I like to think there's two routes that you could go as a defensive cyber operator. You can either be a host analyst or a network analyst.
Okay.
I like to think of network analyst as your highway patrol, right?
Oh, okay.
In between cities, right? And I like to think of host analyst as your local PD. So
All right.
we are, as a host analyst, I'm focused on
I love
endpoints.
metaphors, by the way. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
So I'm focused on like the endpoints, laptops, computers,
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. And the network operators are focused on traffic moving from one endpoint to
Ah.
another.
All right.
So we really can't do our jobs without each other. And
So what's the most recent operation that you did that you can talk about?
so I just did an exercise last week with my team. We went out there and we pretty much practiced how we played against adversary on our network. And we were able to find them.
That's awesome, man. So so when you're not defending the network and defending computers, what do you do for fun?
I think I'm just a normal dude. I like cars, guns, and steak.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
That's a very Texas mentality. I like that.
Yeah.
So cars, guns, and steaks. So what kind of cars?
So I love JDM, Japanese domestic market cars.
All right.
Growing up, Fast and Furious. Yeah, every kid in my generation.
Do you have a Skyline?
No, I wish I did. Wish I did. Not in my budget right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still waiting. I'm still saving up. Waiting until I'm in a good spot to where I can finally make a good purchase and
Nice.
have just a nice car that I can enjoy.
That's awesome. Okay, so guns. What's that look like?
I just love it. Growing up watching action movies, watching military movies, it was just a fascination of things going boom.
So are you a hunter? Do you go like shooting on the range?
Oh, I go to the shooting range up in Camp Bullis in North San Antonio very often. It does get a little bit hot sometimes, but
In
I always
Texas?
go up there. I try to shoot as far as I can. It doesn't always go great, but regardless, I have a fun time out there.
That's awesome, man. Of course, being safe.
Of course,
Always.
of course.
And then steak. So like, what's your cut?
I like sirloins. I like
All
sirloins.
right.
They're the cheapest, but you put them in the oven, you get a nice reverse sear on them. They're perfect.
I never thought about it in terms of cost. I'm a filet mignon guy, but I guess that is kind of a bougie steak. I don't know. I like steak. I like any type of steak, but if I get my choice, like if I'm ordering a steak, I'll order a filet mignon. I like the cut.
Yeah,
So-
very tender.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for telling me about yourself and for what you do for the entire country. You got any questions for me?
As a command chief
Yeah.
of the 67, what would you do differently if you were to do it again?
My career?
Yes.
That's interesting. Honestly, I don't know that I would do anything differently. I made so many mistakes coming up in the ranks, but it's kind of that philosophical thing. Like what you did is what made you who you are today, and so I can't think of a single one of those life-defining moments that I would change because that's how I met my wife and got all the opportunities I had. But what I might do differently from like a how do I interact with people, not so much the decisions I made, but how I interacted. I think I would have spent more time earlier in my life networking and less time focused on trying to achieve the next thing. I think I reached a certain part in my 30s where ambition kind of got the better of me, and I lost sight of how important things like this are, networking with the human beings that make all this possible, and lost sight of that. So, thank you. Anything else?
Yeah, I hope it's not too redundant, but what advice, like a simple one-line advice that you can give to young airmen?
One line advice. I think the best advice I can give for you in particular, enjoy the moment. When I look back at my career, so many hours spent. Sometimes you knew when you were part of something big, and I'm sure like you've had that, right?
Definitely.
You definitely have, where you're part of something big. But just as often, it's just the daily tasks, and it can kind of drag out a little bit. And I think that's true for any profession. But when I look back, all those moments, both the exciting ones and the kind of more mundane ones, I was part of something incredible. And I think it's easy sometimes when you're so busy, and you guys are definitely busy in this enterprise. It's easy to lose sight of just how incredible the human beings and the systems around you are. So I think it's probably the best I have is enjoy the moment.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anyway, Airman Lee, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you for having me.